What's up, man? Shout out to my man Corey. Shout out to my man Leshawn Hamlet, man. Thank y'all for watching, man. Thank y'all for having me, man. It was a pleasure to meet you, Leshawn. My man Corey, love what you doing, man. I'm glad that you have that platform. Can't wait to have you on mine. And same thing with you, man. Coach Leshawn, you already know, man. I got you, L. I'm gonna need you on my platform as well. You need me to come talk to your kids, man. It's always well, man. Always positive energy. Let's keep it all love, y'all. Shout out to everybody that was mentioned. And recognize that it's all love, man. Facts is facts, but it's all love. We gotta keep it that way, yo.
Yo, when we start this first, though, we got to throw this X up for real.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Yeah.
We represent.
This
That's
is crazy.
brand,
Listen,
man, we represent.
listen. This is a
One
this is
thing
a,
that was one thing, Carl, I loved about you. Every time I watched you play in college,
every
I
time.
seen you hit a three and you put it
Yeah.
up. And I swear, every fucking time I got a chance to hit a three in a game when I was in college, I said, "Yo." And now, if you do something like that, they say we hating. Oh, you biting on this person, you trying to be like that person. In our era, we was paying respect to the person that we seen do it.
Right.
You know, and you did it. Like every time you hit a three, it was an amp or something. He turned to the camera and he did it.
Appreciate you, man. Humbly.
That was something that when I hear your name, that's the first thing that always comes to my mind. It's like, yo, he put the X up. Like he put the X up. When a lot of dudes acting like they were scared to do it.
Yo, you know what, bro? Like
for sure.
And every time I see, and no diss to him, but every time I see something from the Cowboys, throw up his X joint, he used to throw the X joint. Like, what is that? No, that's not the same thing. What are we doing?
Him and D'Angelo Hall from Kansas City Chiefs. Hey, what y'all doing? I knew y'all was sneaking and peeping.
Yeah.
Side to the paper.
Right.
You know Gatorade makes the X Factor Gatorade.
Right.
They have an X Factor Gatorade. Now you get an X Factor. I tell y'all people crazy. Now Fat Joe, lean back. Oh,
lean back. Yeah. That was you, yo.
Bananas.
Right. That was you.
I'm showing love to the X and everybody that rock with me and got love for the X, but at the same time, Magic's world contributes like the whole globe. It's the whole globe, so there's no barrier but the language barrier.
Hey, you gotta stop talking because you gotta get this on film. You gotta get this on film. You can't say that now. Are we on? People need to hear that shit.
But listen, yo, let me introduce y'all real quick. So this is a treat for me because I was just talking to LaShawn, talking to Carl a couple weeks ago about this. I've been knowing y'all from kids, like little, like dudes talk about day one dudes. Like I remember me and Black used to take the 19 bus together to go uptown to go to Soundview. Like kids. You know what I'm saying? I got Carl Krauser, former Pitt point guard. All right. Carl, listen, bro, like this is crazy because I had to go doing this. I'm like, let me do my research on my G's, right? Like you know people, but then like let me really find research to really know them, right? So my man X was honorable mention All-American your sophomore year. Crazy. That means you're one of the best players in the country. Honorable mention All-American. Your junior year, my man Carl, the John Wooden Award winner. Plus, he was a Naismith All-American Award winner and a Bob Cousy Award finalist. My God, please.
100%. Thank you so much.
That's tough, yo.
Then in addition to all that, my man got a bunch of NCAA tournament bids, a bunch of Big East tournament bids. I got how many? 2 Big East tournament chips?
Yeah, 2 Big East tournament chips, 3 Big East outright tournament championships, and we have 4 tournament NCAA tournament appearances. All my boys.
Bro, that's unreal.
83% of collegiate games.
Man, that's tough, man.
That's unreal. It's just an honor to know you. It's just a be honor to have you as a brother. You know what I mean?
Thank you so much, man. I humbly appreciate both of you, man. Thank you for the love, man. It's always about that and seeing all of us come together, coming up and knowing each other, young kids, and making this progress, man. It's such a beautiful thing, man. I'm honored to be here.
Absolutely, and I appreciate that. And then it's crazy because I got my man right here who Me and him, we just talking. Elementary school, we came up. I mean, Leshawn, and it's crazy because I had to look at the stats. I'm like, this is my guy? My man Leshawn, so he went to JUCO. In 2 years in JUCO, my man put up over 1,200 points. Over 1,200 points in 2 years, dog. Player of the year of his conference the first year. The last year, you led them to a championship, 24-6. So what's amazing about those individual accomplishments to me is you not only put up crazy stats, but you won. Like, how many dudes you know, like, yo, I was averaging. Like, that's what you say when we came up.
That's the X, man.
And then your next question to them is, yo, did y'all win? Like, what was y'all record? We went 500. We won this. My man went 24-6, and they won the champ. They won the chip, but they lead. It's crazy.
But that was the thing that we were just talking about, though, before we got on, was that where we from, we just don't fail. Mm-hmm. Like, failing is just not something that we cool with. Like, right. You know, Jay-Z not from the Bronx, but his quote I always keep with me is, he said, put me anywhere on the earth, I'll triple my worth.
Right.
And that's pretty much how New York people are built, is that we just decide that it's like, all right, this not gonna fail. You know, back up against the wall, or we're not gonna fail. Like, we grew up in a competitive environment in everything. Like you just said, Carl, yo, it wasn't no New York versus Philly, DC this. We wanted to be better than each other.
Right.
Like we was each other's measuring stick. Like, I'm going to play in citywide today against this person.
Yep.
I'm going at him from the door. Exactly. We didn't care about ratings. You could have been the best dude in this and that. Like that's how it was. Right. We did it like
See this, right? So you played in the Big East, and what I consider the real Big East, right? Yeah. And this is no diss nobody that's coming out of the Big East today. But I always try to tell people, when they disrupted the Big East, that not only messed up college basketball, but it messed up that camaraderie in the metro area. Give me your thoughts of that, just with the whole situation of how they flipped up the Big East.
It was so disrespectful, man, because this is what people used to look for. This is the closest thing you had to the NBA. Right. You know what I mean? Like, everybody comes, and then at the same time, you got the chance to play in the Madison Square Garden. Right. After all basketball. You know what it feels crazy to be able to walk in there, to shoot around. Nobody's in there. You looking at Willis Reed and Wolf Ridge and these different people's jerseys and the Raptors, and you looking at different things. You feeling a whole different type of vibe and energy because you're a New Yorker.
Right.
They say we go to a city deep with our feet because we feel the concrete. So you understand what we're doing? Like, it's just like our vibe, 10 toes, 2 feet. We go at everybody, like my man said. So to make it from Bronxdale, to make it from Patterson, to make it from the Bronx anywhere, we have battles every day, individually with the demons in the darkness. And then we get a chance to play in the real Big East. We watch Ray Allen, Allen Iverson, Washington, Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson, my man Batumbo. That's how I meant to say Batumbo.
Batumbo, Ewing, like,
you know what I'm saying? Tim Thomas, Kerry Kittles, Ed Pickens. So those guys, they were like some of my favorites. Ron Artest and those guys were crazy back then. And I couldn't wait for my time to play in the Garden. So when I said the Big East is closest to the NBA, it was so physical. You get what I'm saying? Right. And then the history of the Big East was having John Thompson, Mr. Thompson, and the rest of the guys put that together.
Right,
you get what I'm saying? They put that together individually. And to see them dismantle that, man, because when you watch these Big East things from the last, 15 years and stuff like that, those memories live with people. You created memories when you stepped on that court in Madison Square Garden.
Right.
So for me, to stand there and play against UConn and stand in the middle of the circle of the Garden and throw up the X and see the whole Garden stand up.
Everyone chills on my chills.
Hell yeah, man.
Like I was Jay-Z selling out the Garden rapping. I was bugging.
Right.
Like I was pounding on the court. This is my house. This is my city. Like I mean that. Like I love it because y'all my family. So I was hoping that y'all seen it. Everybody else connected with me seen it. And understand what I was representing.
Oh man, every three I hit in college, I had to throw up the X. It was respect to you, and it was respect to where we was from. It was total. It was like, yo, we was a movement. It was like you said, yo, the Big East tournament was something that you had to see.
Yep.
And it's like when you look now, it's the same thing over and over. SEC is good, ACC is good.
Yep.
They haven't taken a back seat, you know. And now Big East is not the same anymore. It's like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Because it not only did it.
Hold on one second. Let me get that Big East out though, because that Big East was so special, man. They don't understand. The Big East was so crazy. They created the coaches versus fans to play in Madison Square Garden because they knew that would be a spot where you could generate a lot of revenue.
Right.
Stars like Spike Lee, Jay-Z, and the rest of these guys. That's their home. They're coming into there and they're inviting other people to these big games. So people wanted to be a part of those big games. Opera singers, rappers, movie stars, they were all there. I'm looking at them like, wow, so you got to understand, people from the Locks and people from everywhere else, they're watching us play on ESPN. It's not ESPN 52, no, it's ESPN 1. The
Right.
You know what I mean? The X-Kids, you know what I mean? The Forte, ¿Qué pasó? You know what I mean? So it connected these people internationally. Having y'all making the Chinese national team throw this up to me is bananas. Because they watch it in the Big East. Having coaches come from other countries and coming in there and talking to me after, they watched it on the Big East. They said it. Venezuela, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, other places, Mexico, other places, Germany. They come in and watch the Big East. So I just want to say that Big East brand, it was so huge and beneficial to a lot of people, and it changed our lives, man. So thank you, Mr. Thompson, and the rest of you guys, Mr. Behan, for making and creating the Big East, because playing in Madison Square Garden where stars are born, it was super special, man. It was awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, no doubt. And what's funny is people probably know you more for doing this because you made it behind you. Like, people saw that as like a culture statement. Like, it was a symbol for culture. It was a symbol for the Bronx. It was
people doing it that didn't even know what they were doing, why they were doing it.
Right. Like, you looked at that, like that was more than just throwing an X up. It was like, yo, I'm talking to you, the kid that come from the projects, the kid that come from a single parent home. You could be here. This is because I'm here. Like, that's what it meant to me. I threw it up. Who would you say your toughest guard was in your time at Pitt that you had to play against? Because you came up there as some tough guard.
One of the most annoying, man, on the low McNamara, like not toughest but annoying, because he doesn't stop moving the dude, and it has like a super green light, like the super green light, like him and Chris Thomas. They have super green light. Like, there's nobody besides Quincy Dugan when he came later. The super green light in the Big East besides them and Ricky Spears from Rutgers University. I'm talking about certified bucket getters, but Jackson, yo, you gotta chase these dudes. If you shoot the ball, Syracuse, and McNamara, and yo, Behan, I heard Behan two people out, cursed them out. I mean, yo, one dude was on the door, tears came out of his eyes. I looked at him on the bench. I was like, look, to the transfer. Because your man, when Josh Payson looked at the ball, swing that thing, and McNamara's putting it up. That's not.
You get, and bro, you getting hit. You getting hit.
Screens.
Them down screens and them pin downs, you getting
in the knees and your thighs.
Because you're not hearing. And you gotta anticipate. You gotta anticipate it because you're not gonna hear him call it out because you got 30,000 people screaming and yelling in here. Man. So you're not hearing that scream. You're not hearing, yo, screen coming, screen coming, screen coming. By the time you heard it, you done got your melon knocked off.
Sometimes you know what I mean? Hit, kid, and I'm like, there's no stopping, like you said, Al. There's no stopping. So I got hit a couple of times. I still got to trail up that screen the right way to get on that right side. So I knew the trailer screen. I knew how to trail the screen other ways. So I didn't really have to. I didn't need the screen to be called out because I knew the play.
Right,
so that's the part of being the PG. I knew the play. I had the play get called out. You already know. I told you 97% of shots smack back. Same thing, Chris Thomas. We know 87, 97% of shots for him. So he's coming off a pick and roll, left or right, or is the fast sprint. We know you come, you got your man Talib Brown running at your full speed. It's a chance. Then go, and coming off a double screen somewhere, you get hit again. Like, so you got to trail and get on the outside and stuff, whatever you got to do. But at the same time, those guys, I think, were like super like confident. I'm gonna say that, and the confident ones are the people that really annoy.
The knockdown of the Big East also it hurt New York City basketball.
Yep.
The Big East dismantling it stopped us from staying home.
Yeah.
It stopped the New York in this era. It stopped these kids from staying home.
Yep.
Before
Good
you
point.
wanted to play in the Big East.
Yep.
You wanted to play at St. John's. You wanted to play at UConn. You wanted to play at Pitt. You wanted to play at Seton Hall. You wanted to play at Georgetown. You wanted to stay close to home because the Garden was where it was going to end at the end of the year.
Right.
And now when you got Butler and you got all these other schools
Indiana,
that's not Big East schools,
no.
a kid's looking at it like, shit, the Big East not the same anymore. So,
right.
yeah, you still get to the Garden, but it was like, it's not the same.
Right.
So now the New York kids are like, shit, if I'm going to go to Butler to play in the Big East, I might as well go to Kansas. I might as well go to Marquette. It changed the dynamics, you know. I mean, yeah, UConn still stayed who they was. You know, Syracuse did, but it's still not the same because the New York kids now have realized, and just the tri-state area kids have realized it's like, I can just go anywhere. I don't have to go to Syracuse.
Right.
I can just go anywhere. Like when they dismantled the Big East, they dismantled the tradition of New York kids picking Big East schools.
And bro,
and now we got New York kids going all over.
I'm glad you said that. So this segues me. So like us growing up, like when people would ask us, because we were talking about this a little bit ago, like our dreams was, I'm going to school, I'm going to the NBA. And all the schools that we had in mind, if they weren't North Carolina and Duke, it was a Big East school, right?
Mm-hmm.
But just real quick, Carl, like talk to me quickly just about like your pathway, like coming up through the Bronx, like how to get to where you know what I mean, through Pittsburgh and everything else.
I was playing with Doc. We was playing with Doc at the time, and Doc was helping me get trying to find a school. You know, I was trying to find a school. I had a couple people like Shannon McKenna. He was trying to help me get to Tilburg, and I was like, that's the community college out of Texas. I was like, I'm not trying to go there. And then he's talking about NAIA schools. I'm not trying to go there. So, playing for Doc and chopping his AAU thing out. Slice and the rest of these guys and these coaches start coming out of nowhere from me playing AAU and just thrashing all these big names and going through just getting buckets and wins and win the tournaments and break the records. So after we played in Scranton, PA, I think it was, I broke 12 records in a row. Khalil Al-Amin's record, all the Khalil Al-Amin's records. He played at UConn, number 42 point guard, played Chicago Bulls as well. I went out there and they imported 4 Purdue at All Americans and went to Duke. And I thrashed them. It was the first time I got MVP in a tournament and we lost. You get what I'm saying? So all of these schools heard about that and my stock stuff just went crazy. And then I got a chance to play in the Adidas Big Time tournament with Doc. Went out there, made all tournament first team, killed them, broke this record out there game. And then it got crazy because now I'm playing against Mike Dunleavy and Leshawn Stevenson. I'm killing Bo Williams and I'm killing your man Chris Duhon from Duke. I'm out here. I could have dunked on Jonathan Bender, but I jellied him before the game. You know what I mean?
Yo, you know what I appreciate about your story though. Me and you talked about this last week, and we were just talking about this. And this is this is my man. I love him. Dre Barrett, K-Sack. Kev Bell, those were the top point guards coming up during our era, right? But Carl came under the radar. Like a lot of people, if you was from the city, they knew you, but Dre had all the accolades and K-Sat had all the accolades, Kev Bell. But my man Carl was just silently doing his thing, and all of a sudden, I'm like, yo, my man Carl's at Pitt? That's crazy, because those were the top echelon point guards coming out of the city during our time.
Omar Cook too.
I played with Dre and the joint and the Ravens with the Ravens. You know what I mean? People don't know. Pete Mully was on the team, and we played against Eddie Griffin. I don't remember if y'all know. God bless Eddie Griffin.
Yeah, God bless Eddie Griffin. Yeah.
Marcus Toniel. So we played in that not Rumble. I think it was Rumble in the Bronx tournament at Fordham. The ball and all them games. Remember that? Yo. I was coming off the bench, kid. Artie Gray put me on the bench because he didn't want me to shine more than Dre. So, 26 I'm getting 20,000. Get like, yo, stop trying to play me. Artie used to leave me from tournaments on purpose, and I'll go play with Dave Nelson or Big D. You feel me? So this is the things they used to do to be in the base. So as you say, I came up, hey fam, I used to play at UDC. They called me 50 plus. Never had under 50 points in the game. It was crazy. People didn't, and I'm killing everybody. I played against Riverside and all that. Your man, Cal Cuff and them, I'm on them. researched them, dunked on a man one. That's how I broke my elbow. And when I got to PIT, I got surgery. So I've been playing with a broken elbow since uni, like since 16, 17 years old.
Crazy.
And wow. I broke 4 bones in my elbow, so I didn't get it fixed until I got to PIT my freshman year. So that's what I'm saying. People didn't understand what I was doing. I'm telling y'all, and coming back with a broken elbow. You get that? Like it's the mental being hurt every day. Every time I move my arm, it hurts. I don't show it though. I don't have money in the medical joint. I don't have none of that. So I got to deal with the pain. You get what I'm saying? So people was trying to front of me, so I took their respect, killing them. Kev Morrison, them in the Cosmo tournament, and the rest of them. I killed the top players because I had to wait till the summertime to see you, and then I'm going to shut you up and let you know. It's no disrespect, but it's just a fact that it happened. You get what I'm saying? Like, everybody's trying to poop on me because I have nobody else, you know what I mean? Like, somebody backing me and this night, and I can't play Project Ball with it. Y'all was like, some people was like, yo, it's too much. Oh, it's this. He's too aggressive. Chill. Because if they would have did that, it was cool. When they was cool, yeah. And Majestic and them did that, it was cool. But when I come through Violate, it's different because I went to Steve.
Yep, right, exactly. And what's crazy is when me and Leshawn was talking about it, because we were talking about that competition. Competition for us started in middle school. And how I met Leshawn, like I knew him since a kid. How I met him, everybody would say, yo, he's the best player in the city. Like, real talk. Like, in 7th and 8th grade, everybody was talking about Sean Hammond. Leshawn, just talk about your path, just coming through. Like, I know everybody.
I kind of, it's the same thing like Carl, like.
Leshawn, just talk about your path, just coming through. Like, I know everybody.
I kind of, it's the same thing like Carl, like, it was more or less like, I felt like I had something to prove. You know, 6th grade, you hearing Dre Barrett's the best 6th grader in the city, and I'm like, I heard of him because one of my mans was living up in like Monroe Projects or something like that. So I knew who he was. I was already playing with Gaucho, so I knew who he was. I had nothing but respect for him. So for me, it was more or less like, okay, if he's the best, let me figure out a way for me to be the best.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I ain't know nothing about no Hoop Scoop magazine and this and that. So now I'm at this point like, okay, one of my mans named D Jones. You know D Jones. Dana Jones started telling me like, yo, you got to start killing this. You got to get hoops. You got to do this. You got to do that. So I'm like, all right, cool. 6th grade come. I'm like, all right, I got to show out now. I get on the team, start getting buckets. I'm killing everybody. We go play in a tournament in Mount St. Michael's. I put up 57 points. And then everything changed for me. It was like, now I'm starting to hear from prep school. Now they trying to get me to go to Mount Carmel. Now they trying to get me to go. They was trying to get me to go to Mount Carmel because that was where KB was. You know, Kevin Bell. That was where. And these were all guys that I was. Now I'm with Riverside now. Now I'm playing with these dudes. But I'm like, nah, I'm not leaving. And I don't want to say I regret it, but it was like, in my mind, it was like, why am I leaving? If I'm this good and I'm doing this in my neighborhood, fuck it, I'm going to stay in my junior high school. I'm going to stay here and I'm just going to hoop here because this is how I got my name. And every time, like you said, every time I get a chance to match up, I'm going to do what I got to do. You know what I mean? But it was true. Dre was there. You know, Jess was there. Like, those dudes in my mind, you know, now if I had to do it for my son, I'd be like, yo, I had one of my apartment. Because you got to get in that circle to get where you want to go. Right. And that's pretty much what happened when it was time to go to high school. That's what happened. Jess and KB and them, they was older. They was, you know, a year or two older. So it was like, okay, cool. They just at the Braves. He hit, you know, KB and K-Sat and them, they down at Rice. So it's like, all right, cool, I got to figure it. I ain't think about it in the lane like you. Where it was like, man, I'm just gonna go here and I'm just gonna eat. I'm gonna do this. I'm listening to all the people in the neighborhood just keep saying like, do it this way. You got to go there. You got to follow this track. You got to do that. And Eric Harris is one of the biggest dudes in my neighborhood. You know what I mean? He played that St. Ray's. He went to Minnesota. He had a hell of a career. So he's like, yo, this is the move that you need to make. You need to go here. So I went there. I tried it. It wasn't for me. And then I just went to prep school. And I went to Longburg down in North Carolina. But when I got down there,
went there. You know,
I was there with Courtney Fields. I was there with Julius Allen, and I know you know Jules. Courtney was there bugging out when we was there. He was enough. Yo, still to this day, man, he was different at 6'6", 6'7". The shit that he was doing, and what was crazy was when we was at Riverside, you would see it, but when we got down there, it was different. It was like, yo, this dude, like, it's nothing he can't do. Like, he was the first 6'6" point guard I had ever seen. Yeah. Like, I got moved to the side. Like, yo, you like to get buckets, move your ass to the wing. He would put the ball in his hand, and Courtney was like, okay. And any other time, Carl, I would have been like, nah, fuck that. I want to be the point guard. But he was like, nah.
Carl, I used to hate playing against him in AAU in the middle school because this is what LeShawn would do, bro. LeShawn would be on the wing. He knew how to play passing lanes. He was an excellent passing lane guy. So he would play passing lanes, go for steals. Somebody put up a dumb shot or turn the ball over. Guess who's already out?
Taking off. I was out. I was out. I would catch that.
That's all he did.
Do one dribble. That was it.
That's it. Make it easy. That's all we're trying to do. Make it damn easy.
Right.
You think you learn. I used to do that sometimes too.
And it was like, but it was like, I learned that from the old heads in the playing in the park. Like, yo, when we get this fucking rebound, your little ass gonna take off, and I'm gonna give you the ball, and you just finish this bit. It was that inspired to shoot. So for me, when I got the prep, I kind of like, once I got the prep, it was like, all right, cool. I'm with it. I felt comfortable because at Longburg, I was with dudes I knew. It was dudes that I either played with in Riverside or was older than me, and I seen them at the church. And I went down there because Bingo was like, hey, this the move. You know, Bingo didn't want me to go to St. Ray. He like, don't go here. But I didn't want to go to Rice. And at the time, Cardinal Hayes was the only other option. Yeah. At that time, we didn't look at Hayes as a basketball school. We looked at it as a football school. So I was like, I'm not going to Hayes. That's just dead end. And then I went to prep school, and I started killing. I did my thing. And we was down there. What was the blessing was one of the Riverside coaches was the coach. So I knew I was going to be taken care of. Coach Mike McAway was there. And after prep, I wound up getting my daughter's mother pregnant. So it was like, okay, do I still go to college? I got a couple of offers. I got a couple of D2s. I got some low D1s. Do I want to go to college? But I had a kid, so it's like I got to take care of my responsibility. Yeah. So for 18 months, I gave up the game, just stack enough money so I could take care of my daughter. And then I go, and Glover take me to St. John's one day. And then St. John's. And Glover's from, I want to say, the Bronx. He's from the Bronx, but he's from uptown. He's from River. I think he's from Bronx River. But he was dating his wife, who's now his wife. She's from Patterson, so Glover was always in Patterson. Bingo was living in Patterson, but he was always in Patterson. So Glover was kind of, and shout out to him, man. He really opened my eyes. So Glover, like, yo, Glover takes me out to his senior year. He takes me out to St. John's. They having workouts in the summertime. So Elijah Ingram is there. And at this time, he's the number one, he's best point guard in the country, all this other stuff. He was McDonald's All-American, whatever. So we just all playing. And I just give him work. I'm killing this dude. I'm going at him. You know how we get down. You from Jersey, I'm from New York. I don't know you. You know me because of the fact that, I know you because of the fact of who you are, but you don't know me. But when we leave this gym today, you're gonna ask my fucking who the fuck I am. And I just went at him. And like, I talked to Jarvis, I talked to Thurm was already on the staff. You know, Coach Thurm was there, he was a Riverside guy. And he was like, yo, you gotta get in school, you gotta go somewhere. And then I go and hoop in a showcase, and Bob Hill sees me. He was at Fordham. And at the time he at Fordham, Smush is at Fordham, and so is Adrian. Yeah. So Adrian and Smush is there, and I'm saying to myself, okay, salute to them. Adrian, that's one scoring. Natural born killer. So I'm saying to myself at that time, like, I just played in the summertime with Adrian, Jermaine Pringle. I'm talking to them like, all right, cool. So I'm like, Adrian from downtown, but Bronx, like, he was always in the Bronx. He went to Bronx Street, like, he was around. So I'm saying to myself, okay, I got the grades to get into Fordham. I just got to go to JUCO. Adrian is there, and he's a fucking killer. Smush is there, and he's getting buckets. If I go in there with them two, shit, I'm gonna lead the A10 in assists, because all I gotta do is just keep beating. So
Big Mike
now I'm like,
was Big Mike there too with you?
yes. So at that point, I'm like,
Come on, Big Mike.
At that point, I'm like, okay, I got to go to JUCO now. This is a definite. I got to get into JUCO. And now I'm thinking I'm going to Florida. Bob Hill sets everything up for me to go to school in Tallahassee. I get on the phone with Corey, and Corey like, yo, you need to come to my school. I'm about to graduate. You can get buckets here. I average this a game, but you can come in here and do whatever you want to do. All the major hitters, they leaving, and the ones that's returning, you'll kill these dudes. And I was like, you know what? All right, cool. I'm gonna do that. And I wound up going. The coach never seen me play. He just knew. He just went off CO word. And when I got there,
my man here, and I
the rest was
set the
history.
tone. I laid the table. I'm bringing my man here. He's gonna be the best player on your team, hands down. When he get here, he's gonna score a lot of points. Just make sure you set the offense up. That was my exit statement.
That was his statement.
That was it.
And when I got there,
love to your brother, man. That's fire. Showing love and giving your brother support.
Yo, every time I walk in that building to this day, and I see the banners, I see the championships, the retired number, I think to myself, I wouldn't have ended up here unless CO told me about it. I could have went to Florida and been a regular dude, but I went there, and I could say that. No disrespect, CO, but I might be arguably the GOAT at that school.
You got it. I'm not even. That's not a debate. I was good, but I wasn't you. Nah.
What's crazy was I never forgot the word.
Your jersey retired.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Like it was like I got there and it was everything he said. Like I just gotta kill everybody. It's business. I want to go one.
Yeah. Did they retire yours yet? What's up, y'all? So, a lot going on in the world today. Got me in my feelings, got me thinking about a lot of different things. My wife, Elise, been with 13 years. This year it'll be 13 years. Today I've decided she's got to go. We got to be done. A lot of frustration. So, I just feel like it's necessary for me to do this. Nobody's going to talk me out of it either. She's considered dead. Watch me. Go get her. She'll never see it coming. Respect, cuz. What's up, y'all? So, a lot going on in the world today. Got me in my feelings, got me thinking about a lot of different things. My wife, Elise, been with 13 years. This year it'll be 13 years. Today I've decided she's got to go. We got to be done. A lot of frustration. So, I just feel like it's necessary for me to do this. Nobody's going to talk me out of it either. She's considered dead. Watch me. Go get her. She'll never see it coming.